everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kristen Marlene and I just make YouTube videos for fun, and I also do Vlogmas because I love Christmas. So I asked you guys on Instagram if you would be interested in hearing about my health journey, particularly what I've recently been doing, and most of you said yes. So here I am. I'm going to be talking about my health journey. I guess I'll start with when I was in middle school time. So I had been through bullying for quite some years before middle school. It really took a toll on me in 7th grade. I had a lot of other things that were going on in my life besides the bullying. So on top of that, having everything else, it just came crushing down on me, and my way to cope with those things was to binge eat. I remember from 7th to 8th grade, I gained about 60 to 80 pounds within a year because I was binge eating my feelings. And that's quite a lot of weight on a young teenager. And my body was just not having it. It also affected my self-esteem. I mean, today I feel a little bit more confident than I did ever in my life, but growing up from like the age of 13 until about this year, I've never truly been okay with my body. I always hated how I looked. I hated how big my arms looked. I didn't like that, you know, I had a big chest because I felt like that made me look bigger than what I was. My stomach would bulge out. I hated my thick thighs. Like I didn't like them. I hated my back because I started to get like rolls on my back. I just felt very insecure in my body, and it took a while for me to get to where I am today. So in high school, I did lose a bit of weight, and that was because I was so focused on being the girl in the magazine, or, you know, I was inspired by the people on Instagram, and Instagram just became a thing when I was in high school, but on Instagram or in magazines, like I said, or in TV shows and movies, like I was trying to be that girl that I kept seeing, and that's just not attainable. So since I was looking at these people that looked a certain way, and I wanted to be that way, I started to work out at home. I started to be a little bit more active, and yeah, I lost weight, but I was still eating like crap. I mean, I was a teenager. Like I would have Starbucks every day. My go-to Starbucks order for when I was in high school was an iced skinny vanilla latte, grande, and a butter croissant. That's not healthy at all. Back then, to me, having a croissant in the morning and like a skinny vanilla latte was totally fine, and it was different than like having like this huge breakfast, because I thought if I ate less that I'd lose weight. And while that kind of happened in high school, it wasn't attainable the way that I was eating and moving around. Going into college, I gained the freshman 15, of course. I feel like it was like the freshman 20, honestly. Like, I don't even think it's like the 15 anymore. Because not only are you changing your environment, well, I was changing my environment because I went upstate New York to school, so I went away. I didn't stay home. So I didn't have the luxury of having still home cooked meals, of being able to control, you know, your groceries, like what you're eating, what you're buying. I ate the cafeteria food, whatever they had in our cafeteria was called the Commons. So whatever they had in the Commons, that's what I was eating. And there weren't a lot of options. There weren't a lot of healthy options. So that was bad. And I also I drank a lot. Like I was a fish. I went to Ireland my sophomore year, and I had, I think, a bottle of wine as like a pregame before we went to the bars. And then at the bars, I'd always get a gin and tonic. Like, after I had that bottle of wine, that's how much I was drinking. My liver was dying. On top of the drinking, on top of the cafeteria food, late night McDonald's runs, I was just going downhill with my health. Of course, I was also in this like mental headspace where I just felt so stressed about school because it was junior, senior year, and I was freaking out about finding a job after college. I was worried about my thesis. My thesis took over my life. Like, it was a lot of pressure. Again, with pressure, I immediately go to food, but this time I also went to alcohol because it was more accessible to me because I was over 21 now. So I would drink almost every night senior year. It was absolutely terrible. And then I would eat like a box of mac and cheese just to myself. I would have French onion dip, like the Lay's French onion dip, and a whole bag of like Lay's, but the Ruffle kind, of course. I'd have a whole bag of that, and I would finish the French onion dip in one sitting. By the time senior year, towards the end of it, rolled around, that's where I had a mental break. And it was a slew of things that were going on, but a part of it was because I didn't like the way that I looked. I was also very depressed. I was very anxious. I had a very serious panic attack when I was stuck in a snowstorm, and that caused me to have costochondritis, which is when like your chest area and like your collarbone area, it becomes inflamed because of the heavy breathing that you do when you have a panic attack. I had the costochondritis, and that was diagnosed by my doctor, and he had me take a depression test, and then he also had me do an anxiety test, and he had me read like a couple of things on anxiety, like the different types of it, because there's not just one type of anxiety, there's multiple disorders of anxiety. So I have a panic attack disorder, and then I was also diagnosed with severe depression. That's when, you know, my family and I knew, and my friends knew, that I needed help. When I was home, I found a psychiatrist, and then I also found a therapist. And both of them are online, so I don't have to go into an office, which is great. And it's also great because of what's going on right now. I talk to them on a regular basis, and I have been for the last 2 to 3 years. And that has helped me tremendously mentally, but also physically, because I now know that when I work out, I feel happy. So that's why my health has become a priority. And I knew that going into this, if I wanted to change my lifestyle, I had to change my mental health first before I went ahead and did anything with my physical health. Because I needed to be in the right mindset, and I knew that. I knew that I couldn't get back into it because I still had that mindset of I want to be this person, or I want to look like this celebrity, when in reality that's not ever gonna happen in a healthy way. So I knew that I had to change my mindset, and I knew that I needed to get help. So I got that done, and now I you know, mentally I'm good. Fast forward to a few months ago, actually in June, July, around there, I saw one of the girls that I went to college with. She posted an Instagram story about her personal online training business, and I didn't know that she was doing online training. It's like, I'm intrigued. Okay, so I looked at everything, and I actually put in an application, and I got on the phone with her, and we had a consultation, and that day I signed up, and now I've been with her since I think the end of July is when I started. So I've been with, her name is Haley. I've been with her for a couple of months now. And the reason why I decided to start with her is because I was willing to invest in myself. She provides me accountability. She also has made a workout plan for me, and we've been through phases. So at the start of it, it was a lot much lighter work because I was just getting back into fitness. Because of course with the pandemic, I really was not moving. Like I was just so stationary, like we were just at home doing nothing. We weren't going to the gym because of course it was closed, but now we're not even going to the gym either because we have everything at home, which is great. I don't know if I'm ever gonna go back into a gym, honestly. So I knew that I needed accountability. I knew that I needed somebody to tell me like, okay, you gotta get your butt moving. At the start of 2020 in January, I decided to start my own Arbonne business. And that was when I learned a lot about what my body needs, what my body doesn't like, what helps with like less bloating. And that was when I was on the 30 Days to Healthy Living program. I think the great thing about that, from what I learned, is that I was able to incorporate a new healthy lifestyle, and I was able to have a better relationship with food because, like I said in the beginning, I was binge eating whenever I would feel stressed, and now I kind of don't do that. Or if I'm binge eating, I'm gonna binge eat like pretzels or fruit. I'm not like grabbing like a full on cake and like eating it, or I'm not eating a pint of ice cream, or I'm not grabbing that bag of chips and onion and French onion dip and eating it in one serving. And I'm not having like a full box of Kraft mac and cheese. Like I'm not doing that, and I don't crave to do that anymore. So when I started this, I knew that I was okay with nutrition, and I told her that. She was like, okay, since you have that down pat, I'm just gonna give you, you know, your macro breakout. And I was like, what are macros? So macros, if anybody doesn't know what they are, it's carbohydrates, fat, and protein. Going more into the fitness aspect of it, I was so out of shape. Recently, I've been doing workouts that are specific areas. So I started out with doing full body workouts. And then as I continued on and I moved through phases, I started to do workouts that focus on certain areas. So for example, yesterday, I actually had a lower body circuit, a core and lower body circuit workout. I have days where it's leg day, or I have push and pull days. I also do a lot of walking, and I do it mainly inside my house, or if I have to drop off laundry, or if I have to go to the store, I'll count that as walking. So it's around 20 to 30 minutes that I do walking, and that's just to make sure that I'm getting enough steps in. I try to do at least some type of cardio once or twice a week, and then most of the time, like most of my workouts are more strength, and that's because we are focusing on toning the body, so gaining that muscle, and then you know, burning down that fat. And then I'm also at a calorie deficit. So right now I think I'm at like 1,700 calories a day, around there, like 17 to 1,800 calories a day. If you're gonna go into a serious health journey, you need to want to do it for yourself and not for other people, and not to look a certain way. Like, you need to do it for yourself first. You need to do it because you want to feel better, and you want to look your best and feel your best. I feel more confident in my body because I'm seeing so much progress, not only with like my fitness, but in my mental health. Like I'm in a like a bralette and sweatpants, and I used to hate showing my arms because I felt like they were so big, and like this would bother me. But this doesn't bother me anymore because I love every part of me. It's all thanks to Haley, but it's also a big part on me because I had the motivation to do it for myself, and that's where you got to start with. You have to have the motivation to do it for yourself. And then once you have that motivation, it turns into something so much more special to you. It turns into like a lifestyle. It's not even motivation anymore that you need. Like, you just get up and you work out because you know that's what you want to do, and you know your why, and you're gonna do it because you made a commitment to yourself. Don't focus on the number on the scale, because that is going to hurt you more than help you. A great example of this was when I actually started this health journey. I felt a difference in my body. Like, I can feel the strength that I was gaining, and I saw the physical improvements, but on the scale, it didn't show that. And I thought, okay, if I'm seeing it in person, and if I feel it, then why isn't it showing on the scale? And I was so focused on the scale, and I was so focused on that weight that made me not want to continue. And you can't just focus on the weight, because that honestly really doesn't matter at the end of the day. At the end of the day, whatever you weigh does not matter. That number does not matter at all. It just matters about how you feel. It doesn't matter what anybody says. It doesn't matter what anybody does. Just forget about that number, because it's just going to be one of your demons throughout this process, and you don't want that to steer you the wrong way or make you quit. That's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed getting to learn a little bit more about, you know, my health journey. I'm happy to share this with you guys, and I hope that you took something away from this or inspires somebody to start their own health journey. Okay, Mia's barking, so that's just my cue to just end this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to follow me on my socials. I'll have them linked down below. Also check out my blog, imkristenmarlene.com. And that is it. Yep, that's it for today. I will catch you guys in the